Am I the jerk? Number 11.
Am I the jerk for cutting off my best friend after she slept with my boyfriend? Okay, I'm really struggling with this. I, 20F, had this best friend, let's call her Anna, 21F. We were super close. Like, we grew up together, shared everything, and I seriously thought we were inseparable. I've been dating my boyfriend, 22M, for a while now, and I'll admit, I trusted him. Maybe too much. A few weeks ago, Anna started acting off. She was flaking on plans, always busy, and just gave off a weird vibe. But I let it go, life gets hectic, right? Then a couple nights ago, my boyfriend accidentally sent me a text that clearly wasn't meant for me. It said, "I can't believe we did that. I don't want her to find out." At first, I thought it was a joke or maybe some kind of weird mix-up. But my gut dropped, and I couldn't ignore it. I confronted him, and, yep. He admitted it. He slept with Anna. My best friend. He said it was a one-time mistake, that it didn't mean anything, and that I was overreacting. But honestly, I was just in complete shock. Anna sent me this half-hearted apology text afterward, but all I felt was betrayal. I couldn't even look at her without imagining them together. So I blocked them both. Deleted their numbers. Erased them from my life, just like that. It's been a week. I feel terrible. Not because I regret cutting them off, but because I'm so mad at myself for not seeing the signs. And I'm even more furious at them for thinking they could get away with it. Now, some of my other friends are saying I'm being too harsh. That I should forgive Anna and try to work it out. But I just can't. The trust is gone, and I can't picture myself ever looking at her the same way again. Did I cut her off too fast? Or did I do the right thing by protecting myself? Am I the jerk? Am I the jerk for admitting I have a problem with how my dad remarried when I was younger and how he expected me to accept her as my mom? My mom died when I, 18F, was 4 days old. When I was little, my dad would tell me all about her. He spoke of her as the love of his life, irreplaceable. He'd tell me about the dreams they had for our family, how they chose my name together, and how much she already loved me. Most nights, my bedtime stories were memories of her, or stories about the two of them. We had pictures of her all over the house. Her hobby room stayed exactly the way she left it. My dad used to say no other woman could ever compare, and that he'd never be able to love anyone else. He wore his wedding ring every day and joked that it was practically glued to his finger so no one could take it off. Our lives didn't revolve around her memory, but she was always present. My dad said he wanted me to grow up knowing I had a mom who loved me deeply, and that she didn't choose to leave. Then, when I was 8, my dad came home one day and told me he had fallen in love again and was engaged. He said the woman would be moving in soon, and that he hoped I'd be excited to have a mom and be her daughter. His fiancée was really eager to meet me. And we actually got along when we first met. But it was also really clear that she was looking forward to being a mother to a little girl without a mom, and I didn't want any part of that. My dad took off his wedding ring, and then lost it. He took down the pictures of my mom and cleared out her hobby room. Before his wife even moved in, he had already replaced many of my mom's things with hers. He pretty much stopped talking about my mom. Not completely, on her birthday, or if I insisted, he'd talk about her a little. But otherwise, he'd say it was cruel to his wife to bring her up so much, and that she shouldn't have to feel like she came in second. I never accepted his wife as my stepmom. Honestly, I don't even think of her as a stepmom, just my dad's second wife. Even though I didn't grow up with my mom, she was still my mom. I've always loved her. I loved how much she loved me. I loved hearing about how she used to annoy her siblings, or how she and my dad could never agree on how to split house chores. I even knew she held grudges. I say all this because I wanted to be clear, my mom wasn't painted like some perfect angel. I know she was a real person, flaws and all. I don't like the whole "you can have two moms" thing. I know some people can and do, and I fully support them, but it wasn't right for me. My dad's wife is upset that I never accepted her that way. But honestly, I blame my dad. He's the one who raised me to be their daughter, his and my mom's. Not anyone else's. My relationship with my dad has been rocky ever since the day he told me he was engaged. I always felt blindsided by how fast it happened. One moment, he was saying it would feel like cheating to fall in love again, and the next, he's telling me he's getting remarried. He went from "no one could ever compare" to "I'm in love and we're moving forward" in a matter of months. He lost his wedding ring and didn't even seem to care. He expected me to just accept a new woman as my mom because he decided she would be. A month after I met her, she moved in. 3 months later, she was his wife. I feel like he let me down. Not because he got remarried, but because he created expectations no one could ever live up to. And now his wife feels like her chance to be a mother was stolen. They tried to have children, but she had 5 miscarriages. This all came up recently. I moved out last October, and I haven't called or visited much. My dad said I should come by more often because he and his wife need their daughter now more than ever after their losses. I told him I'm not her daughter. That led to a whole argument. I explained how I felt about the way he handled everything, the sudden change, the expectations, the way my mom's memory was pushed aside. I told him I would always have a problem with how fast it all happened, and how he expected me to be okay with someone else stepping into that role. I told him he raised me to be my mom's daughter, and that I was never going to be anyone else's. He said I was so young back then, and he just hoped I'd be resilient. He thought I'd want a woman around when I hit puberty, and instead, I found support from other people, and from him. That led to more arguing. Then his wife called me. She said it hurt that I wouldn't love her or let her be my mom because of what my dad did. She said I broke his heart, too, and now they're both devastated. I feel like my dad needed to hear what I said, but maybe I was too harsh. Maybe I am the jerk for saying it all out loud instead of just letting it go. So, am I the jerk? Am I the jerk for yelling at my son's girlfriend and ruining their relationship? Okay, so I'm just a 42-year-old mom with 3 kids, Marcus, 16, Kurt, 10, and Emma, 7. Marcus recently started dating a girl, Layla, 16. I tried to be cool about it, but honestly, she's kind of a walking red flag. She keeps encouraging Marcus to skip school, sneak out, and basically act like a total rebel. Still, he seemed happy with her, so I kept my distance. I did talk to her once or twice about how she was behaving, though. Last Saturday, we went to Kurt's soccer game. He's not super into soccer, but he enjoys it because his friends are on the team, and he does try. I always thought his siblings supported him, too. Now, whenever Kurt has a game, Marcus always asks if Layla can come. I usually say no, it's mostly a family thing, but this time I caved. Big mistake. During the game, Kurt missed a goal and I swear I heard Layla laugh. I brushed it off at first, but then I noticed her whispering something to Marcus, and he laughed while looking at Kurt. That rubbed me the wrong way, but I still tried to stay calm. A few minutes later, Emma told me she wanted to get water from the fountain across the field and wanted someone to go with her. Layla offered, and I hesitated, but said okay. I didn't trust Layla much, but I thought she'd at least be decent. 10 minutes went by, no sign of them. I figured maybe they'd stopped at the bathroom, but I started getting worried. I asked Marcus if he knew where they were. He said no, but I didn't believe him. So I asked him to watch Kurt while I went looking. I found Emma by the water fountain, alone and crying. Layla was nowhere to be seen. I asked Emma what happened, and she said Layla just left her there. I was furious. I took Emma back to our seats, and there was Layla, laughing with Marcus like nothing had happened. I asked her what the hell she was thinking leaving a 7-year-old alone, and she just said she thought it would be funny. I asked her why on earth she would do something to make my daughter cry, and she brushed it off like it was some harmless joke. I completely lost it. I yelled. I called her out for laughing at Kurt, for ditching Emma, for being a terrible influence on Marcus. And she had the audacity to call me controlling and a Karen. She stormed off, and Marcus tried to follow her, but I didn't let him. I knew she was a bad influence. I knew she was going to hurt my son. And now he's pissed at me, saying I ruined his relationship. So, did I go too far? Did I make things worse by stepping in? Am I the jerk? Am I the jerk for telling off a woman on a plane who refused to use headphones? I am 35F and I was recently on a flight. There was a woman behind me who had 2 children who looked to be around 5 to 7 years old. Both kids had iPads, one playing a game with the volume on full blast and another one watching Cocomelon, again very loud. The mom was sitting there scrolling on TikTok. I asked the woman if she could please either turn the volume off or if she and her kids could use headphones. We're in a small enclosed space with a lot of people, and many of us are just trying to sleep. The woman just looked up and glared at me, then kept scrolling. I asked again but louder this time and she told me to just mind my own business. I understand that especially on a long flight, everyone is bored and we all need some form of entertainment. But I am sick and tired of both adults and children who can only watch things with the volume playing loud on a speaker. This is rude and disruptive to everyone around you, and your phone/iPad is a personal device. Nobody should be able to hear whatever is playing on your phone or iPad. If you cannot use headphones or have the volume off, then you should not be using the device in public. Some people argue that we don't know what mental illness someone has, that some people are hard of hearing, or are on the spectrum, etc. And I do understand this. I told the woman that I would happily mind my own business. But when you are making noise and making everyone listen to your device, you are making it everyone else's business. I told her that she should be quiet, and if she cannot have common courtesy for others, then she should just stay home. We're not talking about a baby who is crying and can't control it. We're not talking about a person with Tourette's. We're talking about someone who is making everyone around them be forced to listen to something, simply because SHE does not want to wear headphones. And if you think your kids are too small to wear headphones, then they are probably too small to be staring at iPad screens for hours. I myself have an 8-year-old nephew who has autism, and he uses an iPad to communicate as he is nonverbal. This is very different from someone who just watches a show on full volume. He also has many issues, one of which is his rage-filled violent episodes where he screams, throws himself on the ground and punches and kicks whatever is around him. For this reason, my sister does not take him to restaurants or on planes because he cannot control these episodes. A few people have told my sister that she should not punish her son for having a condition he cannot control, and that people just need to be more patient. My sister always says that it is not punishment, and she does not want to endanger others by putting her son in a situation where she knows he will not behave and can possibly disturb or injure other people. I agree with this. Mental illness is real and legitimate, but we all have a responsibility to manage our own triggers. Some people and parents with small kids act as if using headphones or not having the volume on is the most ridiculous request. Almost like they forget that just a few years ago, every kid didn't have an iPad. Everyone didn't play things out loud on a speaker in public. Yes, we need to be sensitive to people's issues and have patience, but we also all need to have a general level of common courtesy for others. Am I the jerk?
That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below what you thought about these stories. Do you really think they were the jerks? Here are some other videos I highly recommend, and don't forget you'll find a wide variety of them on my channel. See you next time.